Hey, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Chicagoland Baseball Chronicles. You know the business. If you woke up this morning, if you woke this morning, you winning. We got a good one today. I got my co-host here, Bill Haley. What's up, Bill?
Hey, how's everything going, Bo? Hey, I was really excited when you told me that our guest today, Andre Morgan, had agreed to appear on the show. Every experience I ever had with him was first class, and just the ability to share his history and so many different things. But when I started digging into his background for the interview, there's so many areas he's touched on and made a huge impact. It became a
Big
challenge of
time.
how do we adequately even deal with somebody like this. So we're gonna give it our best shot. Thank you so much for joining us, Andre. How you doing out there in sunny
What's up,
Arizona?
Dre?
Man, hey, what's up, fellas? Man, I just love your show, and I'm happy and I'm honored to be even considered to be on the show. I went back last week and I listened to every show I could pull up. I
Mm.
listened to Wayne. I went listen to my guy Lou. I just listened to them all, and it's like writing a book, man. You guys are documenting this on the internet forever. 100 years from now, they can pull this stuff up, and I'm just honored to be here.
Appreciate it. We
Absolutely,
appreciate you,
absolutely.
man. We appreciate you. You're a walking history book
Yeah.
yourself, brother. And I want to get straight to this because a lot of people don't know that you played baseball. We second base brothers, you understand? And he was
Man,
one of the brothers I was watching. But and he from CVS on the powerhouse teams, and we're gonna get to that part of because we need to know this. You was a ball player. How you get started, man? Tell me about
well,
it.
it's kind of funny story. When I was 5 years old, we used to live in Philadelphia, and we lived.
Really?
I forgot the name of the stadium; it's torn down now. But the Phillies played there.
Veterans.
And
Veterans
Veteran Stadium.
Stadium.
Thank you. And we lived so close. I'm talking 1 block away that I could hear the cheers of the crowd when there were games. And at my
Wow.
father, I used to like, I want to go there. And he took me to a couple of games. And it's different when you live by the stadium. When even if you're not at the game, you're at the game. And I think that put baseball in my heart. And over the years, when we I moved to New York, suburban New York, and I was just about ready to play. And my parents moved to Chicago. We on the move
Wow.
again, and now I'm in the seventh grade, sixth, seventh grade, and I want to play baseball, but I didn't really know where to go. We were living on 71st and Calumet. I'm a graduate of Park Manor Grammar School,
Okay.
71st and Rhodes, and I didn't really have it where to go. But I knew in my heart I was going to be a ball player because hey, strikeout master. I was a strikeout master. You know,
Strikeout. That's right.
hey, if you could play strikeout, you could play baseball. So
Absolutely.
then when we moved to my home where I grew up at when I went to high school as a freshman, we were on the east side at 71st, and I lived within walking distance of South Shore Little League,
Mhm,
and
Okay.
I got hooked up with Dennis Bonebreak,
mhm.
and I
Dennis
started playing.
Bonebreaker.
Man, that dude recruited everybody. And
Wow.
the funny part was our rivals, and at back then, as the neighborhoods changed colors, I was there when South Shore went from white to black. You
Oh, it's
know,
still white
and
people
and
there.
and oh
Right.
yeah, I'm talking, I'm
Absolutely.
talking. Now see, I'm talking 1970. Okay,
Absolutely. I know.
1970, and so as Dennis started running South Shore Little League, and I'm playing, I finally got my uniform. I'm finally playing, and I'm playing against guys like Joe Red, Joe Ross, Redmond. I mean, just studs. And we had to go up against Southeast Little League, Southside, and of course the infamous Jackie Robinson and Yo Daddy. Man,
Mm.
Mr. Haley. And it was just a challenge when that All Star thing came around.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it was hey, it was fun. Baseball was fun. I could walk
Absolutely.
with my boys from the block. We was all on the same team. We still friends right now to this day. Uh, and then I started Dennis Bonebreak at the age of 19 gave me the opportunity to coach.
Hold
So I
up,
was
wait a
playing.
minute. Time out. You went to CVS, brother, and you won the city championship, man. We ain't gonna skip that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, I'm with the Cap. Those my people, the Cavaliers. Ain't no
Yes,
doubt.
sir.
So before being 19, you're right. I was at Chicago Vocational, and it was a magical time there. CVS is no more. They're now CVCA, and we're not who we were. But back then, we were something to deal with. In them early
Y'all were the
70s,
beginning of that powerhouse. Y'all were part of that
yeah,
powerhouse years, right?
yeah, yeah. We now that was one transition that went well from black to white. I mean, now we had some fights and stuff up in the building, but on the sports side, because we had our football champions and we had our baseball champions. That 76 team for baseball won it all. Now I'm a graduate of 75, so I played with those guys, but they was like the class after me. And so
Okay, that
guys
was
I
Charlie
played
Scott
with,
now. Okay,
Charlie Scott was on varsity with me. The great Charlie
okay.
Scott with the gas. Are you up on Sam Oldham? No. Sam,
Yes.
Big Sudden Sam.
Yes.
People sleep on him. You don't hear a lot of talk about Sam, but Sam was
Yes.
our ace. And we had, although he was a
Did you play?
basketball
Did you play with
superstar,
Winston Cole? Did you play with
yes,
Winston?
sir. Yes, sir. I sure did.
Okay.
He was older than
We
me. He
yeah.
was older than me.
Okay.
When I
Yes.
got on the varsity, he was coming off. Oh, that dude was a stud. Stud.
Absolutely.
I played with Donnell Peterson. Donnell
Okay.
graduated with me. Donnell, all-state basketball player, but people would sleep on him. He was a hell of a baseball player, and he was our shortstop. And so, as when I graduated, and I was kind of jealous because we wore the old wool uniforms at CBS. We had no new uniforms. Coach kept us in that stuff they had from the 50s, and it was good on a cold day. But on a hot day, oh my God, you ain't lived until you wore the
The
wool.
old cotton.
And
Y'all
then,
had the old cotton uniforms.
yes, sir. And so all of a sudden, when I graduate, they get what we call the cheese uniform at CBS. That's a yellow top and the yellow bottom. That's the cheese. And they won city. At
Absolutely.
76 at CBS, we won city in football, prep bowl, matter of fact. So for our third football title, we won our first baseball title. Basketball was in the city championship and lost, and the girls won the city championship in basketball. And CBS was just magical, man. I mean, I know the talk these days now is about your people, Bo, Simeon. Y'all doing it. I enjoy being a rival of the Wolverines. I'm not gonna lie to you. I enjoy that. Um,
Absolutely.
but deep down back in that day, our rivals was Phillips and Marty Murray. And
Absolutely.
I listened to that broadcast
Absolutely.
with Marty. That's my boy with his bow-legged
Yeah.
pants running self.
So in
So
addition to all those sports teams you mentioned in CVS was also really well known for its marching band at that time
the
also.
pride of Chicago
and the jazz band.
and the jazz band. I don't think it'll ever be recreated again. And that was a college band. Okay, our
Yes,
instructors
it
were from
was.
Grambling, and it was. I don't know if people came to see the show or if they came to see the game. It's debatable.
Yeah, it was pretty
I
good.
have a
I had a
couple
chance to see it.
CVS questions while we on the topic of CVS. I want to dig into Andre.
Mhm.
So after you graduate from CVS and you return as a coach for CVS, baseball and football, I want you to talk about two special teams at CVS: the 1987 baseball team, which is one of the legendary teams, and in 1992 you were voted the CPS Football Coach of the Year. Can you share some of the memories about those two teams that you coached at CVS?
And you talking about two teams that are special to my heart. So
Okay.
my '87
Mm-hmm.
city champions, uh, Captain Andrew Hunter, uh, our catcher, all-state player Nate Moore, uh, and then we had two stud pitchers,
Mm-hmm.
Torrance Stennis Torrance went down to FAMU and did his thing there. And then we had the legendary William Fatty Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we weren't picked to win it that year. What people don't know is that team, when they were sophomores, they won the city championship, the sophomore city championship. And we came in third place in the conference that year.
Okay.
What was happening was Fatty got in trouble. We was rolling. Fatty got in trouble. On his birthday, he went to his girlfriend's house and skipped practice.
Okay.
And our head coach was Tom Haas,
Yes.
who was also
legendary.
the athletic director. Director there. And Tom was all about discipline. Okay.
Right.
He just didn't play that. And so he suspended Fatty. And we had Fatty had to come to the practices. He had to be there every day. Could not practice, couldn't do nothing but sit there and watch. And this went on for about a month. And I finally went to Mr. Haas and I go, look, Tom, we can win this thing, but we can't do nothing without this dude. You know, we got to have him. He's our leader. Fatty, all city basketball player, stud, you know, just all of 5 foot. I'm gonna be generous, 5'5".
Really?
And Fatty is not
that.
tall. Bad dude, bad dude. So to go to the city championship game, what we did was, because we beat Taft, we in the big house. It's all about the big house.
Comiskey, you're Comiskey.
We're Comiskey. So we beat Taft, Northside's people. Stennis beats them. Torrance Stennis beats them on the mound. Then we win 5-2 or something like that, you know. And then we got the defending city champions, Rich Tom Leone and the Clemente Wildcats. And
Here we go.
Here we go. And so now we got a battle of the bands too.
Yeah,
up in there.
They got the drums. They got the drums up there.
They got
the
them bongos, man.
Man, they up in there going nuts. They're going nuts. And about 15 minutes before game time, we take an infield. Outside, I hear the Pride of Chicago. Doom, 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 doom. And our entire marching band came walking up in there, boy.
Wow.
Shut it down. Shut it down.
Shut them bongos down.
School rolled up with, I think it was 5 or 6 busloads of students.
It's a lot for a baseball game in Chicago.
Absolutely.
That's a lot.
But that's how we roll at CBS. If we get there, we're going to support, right? So our strategy that day, we're going to put, Fatty was the all-city third baseman.
Because you know what they're going to do. You know what they're going to do.
Know, the bunting is their thing. We watched them. I want to say they beat Simeon in the semis to get to the championship. I think that's who they beat. Help me out on that, Bo Rab. I know you.
I don't think they played them.
I don't know who they beat. I was so excited that we was in the ship, but I don't know. But I know that they was there, and they was the defending champs, and it just we had to do something.
Simeon lost that year. Who was the Final Four? It was from the South Side. It was you guys and I want to say Harlan.
Nope, not Harlan. Harlan wasn't a power at that time like Simeon was.
Or was it Finger?
Finger had won the 85 city championship. They won the year before Clemente.
It wasn't Morgan Park, was it? Or was it Hyde Park?
No.
Was it Ernie?
No,
at Hyde Park?
We used to whip Hyde Park for a joke.
Right, they were from you guys' conference.
I don't know who conference.
I'm really not sure.
Right, we got to
you know what it could have. I don't know. I gotta
I thought it was
Lindblom started coming up.
And now we'd have spanked there. I want to say it was Simeon. But regardless, the games were good. But it had to be Simeon. It had to be. Nobody else. Yeah, it had to be.
It had to be.
So, it had to be. But boy, when Simeon got rolling, oh my God, Franklin straightened that ship out. But that's a story for another day. But
Absolutely.
We in there and we got to deal with Tom Leone. So we put our all-city third baseman on the mound, and they had two brothers, Clifton Garrett and his brother.
Mm-hmm.
And so in the first inning, Fatty's on the bump. I take that back. We hit first. We hit first. And we throw up we get a run on first, and they try to pick him off.
Mm-hmm.
And we missed our signal. The signal was jacked up because he was supposed to steal. And Haas, I thought he was gonna kill me. I get that kid picked off. It was Maurice Valenzuela. And they almost pick him. So now we get ourselves together, and Nate Moore comes up with Maurice Valenzuela on first, hits one off the wall. Boom! Now we rolling. Okay? So now we got second and third, and we driving that run. And I want to say, and I may have my numbers mixed up, but I want to say it was Andrew Hunter. And we had a little scrappy team, and so we get the lead, and then Clemente comes up. And Clifton Garrett hit one off the scoreboard.
It's the big lefty, right? It's the big lefty.
My God, I can still hear that sound right now when it hit that scoreboard.
Wow.
Boom. I mean, it was a moonshot. That was a grown man hit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I heard he yoked it.
Hey, he yoked it. Fatty tightened his belt up, went out there, held him down again. And then later on in the fifth inning, we scratch across the run. Here they come again. The damn Clemente would not go away. But they couldn't bunt. They couldn't do their running game because Nate Moore was throwing them out and Fatty was scooping them bunts up. And Clifton Garrett hits another home run. Left field. Right underneath the upper deck. He just missed that one. I'm like, Jesus freaking Christ. But, my role on the team, I got to keep everybody motivated. Haas is doing the discipline thing, and we just hung in there, man. And Fatty closed it on out.
Yeah.
Complete game.
Complete game.
Well, check this out, Drake. When you were coaching and you were about to start talking about it, you started actually coaching early, man. Even while you were playing ball, because like I said, we were talking earlier, I remember you on the other side, and you were the head coach of that team, though, weren't you?
Yes,
Southeast.
absolutely.
You were the head coach. When
we
were playing
team.
Bill. Yeah, in '79. You remember that, Bill? You had some bad. You had a major leaguer on the team with you. Had Trent,
Jeff
you had
Lattimore.
Tank, you had Little, you had my boy George. Absolutely, you had you had some dogs over there, man. In your collection, you've had a lot of minor leaguers, draft picks, and a couple of major leaguers. Name some of these cats that you coached, man, and how it went about.
We're back.
Yeah.
What
happened? We back.
But
that was
sound
you.
That's me.
Yeah.
So it must be the signal. And as Bo Rav said, we having technical difficulties.
Absolutely. Are you back yet?
We got you back, Dre. We're good to go. We got you.
I'm hearing you, but the sound is kind of muffled.
Right. But did you hear the question? We can hear you very well.
I hear you, but was there a question?
Yeah, I want you to talk about some of the cats you were coaching when you were at Southeast, and some of the major leaguers that you had then.
Southeast, man, that was all. We were kind of like one of the first travel teams. Okay. We put that team together strictly to travel all over and play these little places like Burbank and
what year is that, Dre?
Park.
What year is that?
We started doing that in 77.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
And I coached that team through 81. By then, George left. Trent Hubbard was on that team, and Troy.
Absolutely. Trent
Both
and Troy.
of them were on the team. Man, my twins. Hey, people sleep on Trent. Major league ball player. This guy's stayed in the minor leagues 10 years.
Absolutely. A good friend of
Most
mine.
people would have gave up. Yeah, most people would have gave up on that dream. You know what I'm saying? And
Absolutely.
he didn't. I'm sorry. I'm looking now. I think I'm gonna have to grab my my trusty old.
Charger.
Yeah. So
Okay.
you know, I'm out here in the park, everybody, in Arizona. So I'm struggling a little bit. Struggling a little bit here because I've been out here all day with this
Right.
baseball. It's what I do.
Now,
So yeah,
absolutely.
that Southeast team was special. And you asked me to touch on my '92 football team in
You're right. Right.
CBS
You were voted
in
the
the city
CPS
champ.
Coach of the Year in football that year. Yes.
In the same
First
year?
year, yeah, first year I ever coached football in my life.
Wow.
You know, at the high school level, I had coached it at the kid level. And what happened was the late great Chuck Chambers called me up one day and he said, "Andre, I want you to take the sophomore football team, and I want you to develop them for me." And I'm like, I don't coach. I ain't never coached at the high school level. He said, "You don't. That's not important." He said, "You know how to lead kids to victory." Okay, so I got that team, and I was the head coach. David Underwood from Julian guy, was working at CVS. He was the offensive coordinator. I had the defense, and I literally put together 50 kids, and I was in the hallway every day. Just I was hijacking kids. You playing football, huh? Yo, you playing football, dog. You either playing football or I'm gonna hassle you every day for the rest of your high school life. And I had 50 kids, and we just put together a squad. That team, show you how what got me that plaque, which was presented to me by the great Roy Curry, was we gave up 7 points on defense in the second quarter of the first game of the year, and we were not scored upon again until the city championship. So 9 games. We had about 3 shutouts, and we just, what I coach, I don't care what the sport is, what I coach is organization. To me, in the Chicago Public League, you can win half your games if you're organized.
In all
Just
sports.
be organized.
In all sports.
You can,
in
all sports. I don't care. If I was going to go coach tennis, I'm going to be organized. We look good. I went to the principal, and this was kind of unheard of for them to buy sophomore team uniforms. I said, I need some uniforms. Principal was Betty Dispenza Green. And I said, I can't go out there ragtag. I said, I'm getting ready to try to win some stuff. She said, come back in 3 hours. I come back in 3 hours. She handed me a check for $4,000.
Wow.
I'm good. I'm good.
Right.
Let me dress my boys up so we feel good. With black kids, look good, feel good, play good. That's how they roll. That's how they roll. They need that. And if you get them that, and if they buy into what you're selling them, as far as your concepts, everything else is love. And, as I heard the great Luke Collier say, number 5 for the Cavaliers, he said, they just need the information.
Yes, that's what he said.
That's
and
exactly
that's what he did.
Just tell them.
That's what he did.
Yeah, so we put together a program, and we went out, and I coached that team for 3 years. And I think I lost 2 games in 3 years. I lost to Elton Harris my next year after winning the city championship in the playoffs.
Hubbard.
I was so mad.
Hubbard.
We had the game won at CBS, and I told my DBs, don't try to intercept the ball. We got like 10 seconds left. Don't try to intercept the ball. Knock it down. Well, of course, there's always one kid that want to play hero. He tries to intercept the ball. Elton goes deep, catch it, touchdown. We're out the playoffs. But we had a great run. And the thing about it was that team set up Chuck Chambers varsities in the mid-'90s when he was a really effective coach.
Okay.
So, that was the story with that team. I love that team. I'm still, which is also I want to point out, I'm in touch with all my ex-players.
Outstanding.
All of them.
That's
all my
good.
87 team, all my teams from Southeast. I mean, for South Shore. I say Southeast because I had a travel team called the Southeast Mets. We played at what we called the Homer Dome. It was a little baseball field across the street from the police station on 103rd.
Oh, absolutely remember that
Bottom
one.
of the hill.
Yeah,
Yes,
over by
sir.
at the bottom of the hill. Yes, right,
And a lot
right.
of the guys that y'all, when y'all
Lights
were
and
talking to
everything.
Kenny Pullman, some of those guys came along and played with me over there.
Really?
Yeah, Emil Brown picked him up every day
Really?
after his graduation from Harlan, and Dennis helped him get into Miami-Dade. I just want to be clear about that.
Okay.
Emil did not
Okay.
have a spot when he graduated. Dennis Bonebreak picked up the phone. Next thing I know, Emil is going to Miami-Dade. And
The rest is
all these
history.
people that you guys have been interviewing, I haven't heard one that you interviewed that's not about helping kids.
Absolutely.
I have not heard
Absolutely.
one.
Absolutely.
You know, that's what they do.
That's why
what
we
we
do. That's why we doing you. That's why we doing
I
you.
appreciate
And
that.
that's why. And I got another one now. You, hey y'all, hey everybody out there. This brother wears 50 hats. I'm not gonna touch all of them, but I want to know about this Hall of Fame hat you wear, being an official. You know, I mean, he official every sport. But wow, I don't know where to start with that. How did you just start officiating? Because you officiate everything, especially our sport, baseball, you know. But talk to me, man. This where we at.
Can I? You know what, fellas? I wasn't planning on doing this through the phone, and this battery is low. I have to walk with you guys. Take a walk with me,
Go ahead.
and we're gonna walk to electrical outlet so that
We live.
we
We
can
doing this
continue to pick
live.
up.
We gotta
Look,
improvise.
yes,
We
yes, we
live,
do.
so
And I
we gotta
apologize.
work with you.
I apologize to anybody that's watching this. I didn't plan it this way, but it's gonna be
This
all good. I just got to walk around the corner. I'm
this your
outside.
story. This
Thank you,
your
brother.
story, Mr. Arizona. Mr. Arizona.
Hey, why did I go to Arizona? Let's go there. I went to Arizona because I love baseball, and they play baseball down here 10 months a year. 10 months a year we doing
Absolutely.
baseball. So I'm doing 300 games a year at age 65.
Absolutely.
You know,
Keeping you
so
busy in the shape. You winning.
well,
You
yeah.
winning.
Okay, I'm plugged in and I'm good. Okay, guys,
Yep, we good.
let's roll.
Now let's go
I
back to
just
this
didn't want to cut off.
officiating. How did you
Okay.
get about, you know, officiating? You coaching, you doing this, you doing
I
that,
got.
you know, and
I
you were
started
still playing
officiating.
too.
I started officiating because I got frustrated with not with coaching. I had a travel team for many years, 16 to 18-year-old out of Homewood, and we'd play Mike Maiden and we won 3 state titles in Babe Ruth because I couldn't, we wanted to travel, and that was our route through Babe Ruth. I didn't want to go through the
Absolutely.
stuff that JRW went through with them playing the games with the rosters. And Dennis Bonebreak was my assistant, and he was a master at that. But I got frustrated with coaching the parents. And
There we go.
also, the other thing that sent me to officiating was my sons were getting older. I had one getting ready to go into high school, and I had another one coming right behind him, and he was an All-American in his things, and I wanted to be able to see them. And I came to the conclusion that if I officiate, I can control my schedule. I determine when I am going to be available. When I'm coaching baseball, we played 80, 90 games a year when I
You
had
weren't
that travel
available.
team.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't available. My kids was
Absolutely.
with me, but, they go off and play their games. I can't do that to my wife. And I need to see what they're doing anyway. So it worked
Absolutely.
out great. I started officiating, and the funny
What year
thing
is that,
is,
Andre? What year is that?
1998.
Okay.
Within 3 years, I was working in the Big Ten, doing games. Not a
And
full
what sport
schedule
was
yet.
this? What sport?
Baseball.
Baseball. Okay.
And I'm talking
Baseball.
strictly baseball.
Football comes
Absolutely.
later.
Absolutely.
Football was later.
And a lot of people don't know that you were one of 2 officials to do a state championship game. That's sad. It's a good thing, but it's sad.
The way to word that is, I was one of 2 black officials to do the large class state series.
And at that time, that's 2A, AA, 2A.
Yeah, yes. And I was the second. The first guy was I think his name was James Johnson. He was before my time. And then I came along. And you know what? If I talk about officiating at the state level, I must mention my 2 mentors. That without them, I'd be just another guy out there. And that would be the late, great L.T. Bonner.
LT,
just beyond a legend. If you guys ever do a posthumous show on anybody, please do LT.
Mm-hmm.
And then my other mentor is Chuck Matthews.
and
when I first qualified for the state tournament, and when I got the call that I was doing the state tournament, I called Chuck Matthews up. And I said, hey, Chuck, I'm going to state, and I couldn't have did it without you. So that's how I got started. But yeah, I worked college baseball, different versions of it for 20 years. NAIA, D3, all the schools around the Chicagoland area. Name a school, I did them. I think that I succeeded at officiating, one that fits my personality, because I don't have a problem telling somebody no. I don't have a problem calling a strike.
I know you don't.
I don't have a problem calling a strike a strike. I worked in a different area too. Let me just say that. I didn't really do a lot of inner city officiating per se. What I did, I really didn't do a lot of the Chicago Public League. I was more of a Chicago Catholic League suburban guy. So when Simeon would come to play Mount Carmel, guess who's on the game?
I saw you at quite a few of them.
Yeah, me and Franklin, we had our wars, and that's my guy. We were scouts with the New York Mets together. But once I crossed that line and started wearing black, Leroy was coming for me. And I didn't mind that because I needed our kids to see me, to know, because there's a perception that we always get cheated. And I would be remiss without mentioning probably my main partner when I was officiating there, which would be Mike Alden. And Mike Alden is, right now, he in the Big Ten this year. And he and I did a lot of those, what we call crossover games. When Morgan Park went downstate, that's who I had. I had Morgan Park downstate.
Football. Now you're talking football now.
No, baseball.
Baseball. Okay.
Baseball.
I'm strictly talking baseball.
Oh, with Coach Ratcliffe. Coach Ratcliffe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with Coach Ratcliffe.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I want to say,
downstate.
Did you do that game with Simeon downstate? Either you were announcing or you were there. I remember seeing you there.
I did.
When Blake was back at you.
I never did Simeon.
Blake. Or were you announcing or something?
Blake, let me just say this. Blake Hickman, one of the best catchers ever that get converted to pitcher. Too bad the boy couldn't really hit.
He threw hard.
The game you're thinking about maybe is Simeon versus Harlan. Sectional.
Okay,
that was a major game. But what I also had Harlan in the
super sectional.
In the super sectional, they were playing Joliet Catholic
And they were in charge
And
of that game.
Joliet Catholic won that game. That really was the state championship, even though it was the super sectional. They were the best two teams. And was it 2A?
3A.
Were they 2A?
3A.
3A. They were 3A. They were the best two teams. I had that game. It was a great ball game. There was a throw out at the plate that Joliet Catholic pulled off to win. It was Harlan went from first to third on a bunt, and I had to come down there and make that call and save that kid, and it was every now and then I pull that game up on YouTube and look at it because I'm proud of that game. And I know Harlan lost that game, and if Kenny was on this call, Kenny would let me have it, but it was a great game.
Yeah.
Me and Kenny had our wars too. All those guys, man. I've been against all those guys. Brian Hurry at Mount Carmel. The St. Lawrence coaches. I don't think I'm liked very well at St. Lawrence because I can't be swayed. Brother Rice, been doing them. So all those schools, I've been against the top schools in this state. Providence has won 3 state championships. I was on 2 of the games. The last one I was on the dish.
I got a brother that's watching the game, that's listening to the show right now. You probably watched him pitch. He was at Mount Carmel. He threw some gas and he played shortstop. Linnell McGee. He's watching.
Man, Linnell, what's up, man? Linnell graduated from Mount Carmel with my son.
Okay.
Yeah, my son was
Houston
a wrestling
Astros
All-American
draft
from Mount Carmel. And my son was the Lawless Award winner. Linnell was the baseball Lawless Award winner. And James Jeffries was the football Lawless Award winner for the Catholic League. The first time ever there were 3 black Lawless Award winners. That would be, help me out, Linnell. When did y'all graduate? 2006.
Need your help, Linnell.
2006, Linnell. Man, Linnell, what a great guy.
Had to give him a shout out. He's watching us right now, so I had to give him a shout out.
Man, Linnell, hey, man, that dude was a bad dude.
Trey, can you talk to us about what are some of the challenges that umpires face? We hear a lot about umpire shortages, especially at the youth level, high school level. What are some of the challenges that umpires have to deal with?
Well, you saw my post today on my Facebook page.
Yes.
Anybody didn't see it, feel free to go there. It's simply Andre Morgan. Umpires face the challenge of, and it's kind of the American way, people come to the game to boo the umpire. That's what they do. It's like apple pie and all the things that are American, So you cannot umpire with a thin skin. If you umpire with a thin skin, you're in the wrong business. And I don't care if it's baseball, softball, football, tiddlywinks. But in baseball and softball in particular, the umpire is never right. And so I welcome when they have film. But at the kid level, you don't have film to prove that you make the right call. There's not a lot of trust. So if I'm a new umpire, let's say I'm brand new, I've been doing this for a month, and I've been getting beat on. I'm trying to learn what to do, but I got these people criticizing me. Whose job can you go to and criticize them for 2 hours straight?
Right.
Nobody. There's no job other than as an official that you can go to that person's job and sit there and go, why are you doing it like that? That's wrong. Boo, you suck. So you have to have a thick skin. That's one of the major challenges. The second challenge is, and I'd say this to anybody, there's talent to being an official. Everybody is not talented. It's no different than being a ball player or a coach. The talented ones succeed. I believe I succeeded. This is my 26th year because I was talented. And I hate to blow my own horn, but trust and believe that they would have not let me get downstate. They would have not let me work college baseball for 20 years if I did not have the talents to do it. And I probably, to be honest, have cussed every assigner out in that state of any importance. I won't name their names because I've also drank beer with them at meetings, but I don't have no problem letting you know, back the hell up off me. I'm right. I've also I'm not a big throw you out the game person, but I don't have no problem pulling that trigger. Okay. A lot of new officials, to go back to your question, it's sort of like being a virgin. You're going to be a virgin until you're not a virgin. And once you're not a virgin anymore, it's a whole lot easier. Okay. You got to get that first ejection out the way. You got to get your respect. I find that coaches respect people once they've ejected them. It sounds crazy, but it's the truth. If you're that person that always gets ejected. I was doing a game one time with Radcliffe at Morgan Park, and it wasn't Radcliffe, it was the assistant coaches that was going nuts. And I looked at Ernie, I said, hey, you're going to lose some people today. Get your people together. I'm not the one to play with. And Radcliffe was like, okay, Morgan. I get them. They really don't know. He straightened them out. Now, a month later, we downstate with that same team, with the same coaches, and now we all on the same page.
Right.
Because I had to demand my respect. And it's not that they didn't think I could work. It's just part of the American way.
Absolutely.
Question the umpire. I mean, I had a prominent coach tell me, oh, you cheating for them, of two public league powerhouses. And I'm like, I don't even like that other team. Why would I that blue and gold team, I would never cheat for them. And you know, it wasn't the Navy blue and gold team. You know, and he was just angry because he didn't get the call.
Absolutely.
And he let it, his personal rivalry feelings came out that the umpire was cheating. I am not that guy. There ain't no money in it for me cheating, and nothing could make me break my integrity.
Absolutely, Dre. Absolutely.
My integrity is what comes first. And so a young official, all I can say to them is you got to get out here and you got to be willing to work. There's no reason that there's only been 6 of us downstate. Yet there's hundreds that work at Chicago Public League. One thing I want to say is Chicago Public League officials and the coaches don't do the necessary paperwork to get downstate. There's a system that the IHSA has, and it's a point-based system. And, you know, you got to work the system. I worked the system. I made them respect me. I worked.
You mean a point-based system for officials?
A rating system where you rate officials?
It's a rating, yes. Every game, an official has an opportunity to be rated by the coach. Many coaches don't do it. But then they wonder why.
What do you mean? What do you mean they don't do it? I don't understand that part.
Okay, when the game is over with, you can go online and rate that official. Good, bad, indifferent, whatever. It's a point system. They don't do it. There's 2 key things. You can select the official to be in your top 15 teams. Okay. And then the other half of the rating is how they work the games. Are they qualified to be a state level official? I was always in the 90s in both categories. Right. I know many city officials that are in the 40s. And some of it is their fault. And some of it is the coach's fault. They don't rate people. And so if you don't participate and play the game, how can you win the game?
Mm-hmm. I hate.
And so, and it can't just be the top teams. It has to be everybody. But I don't feel it's emphasized enough. On how to play the game. And it's right there for the officials. They can go right online and do it. I used to give a class on it at clinics because I would teach at clinics. And I would give a class on it because someone taught me. Shout out to Steve Betsy.
Yeah, Richard Rills,
Dre, we know you
Wheels.
had a really busy day out there at the ballpark. We thank you for joining us from the ballpark, but it's really important that before you leave that you share some information. Like Lou said, people need the information. So from your background as a coach, Division I athlete yourself, a scout, and the parent of 2 elite Division I athletes, what advice can you share with high school athletes who may be watching, as well as with their parents, to kind of navigate things? I know you have a book out that's called Get Recruited the Easy Way. That book is available in case anybody wants to pick up the book. But from your experience as a parent, an umpire, just your entire body of work, what advice do you have?
And shout out your
for
book.
the athlete, advice for the athlete
and their parents. I think that's important. Parents navigating in this system for the first time.
Well, it is a system. Lou Collier touched on it quite a bit in his interview with you guys. You have to be willing. You have to be willing to work the system, understand the system that you're in, and also do your job in the classroom, fellas.
First,
I've been teaching school for 26 years, and a lot of athletes don't do their job in the classroom. Okay, you're coming up, you're rolling up there with that barely C average, and you're competing against people from all over the country. Do your job in the classroom. You already can play. That's not the issue. The issue is, can you play school? And so that would be my advice for that. Parents, I'll say this: stay in your lane. Too many parents are standing at the fence trying to do the coach's job. Stop doing the coach's job. Put your kid with a coach that you trust and knows what he's doing, and go somewhere and buy some popcorn and sit down and let the coach work, and you just cheer your kid on. So many times, fellas, I'm on the plate and daddy's at the fence being ridiculous, and I've seen kids either say it under their breath, I wish he would shut up, or they'll turn to him and go, Dad, be quiet. We had our turn, right, fellas?
Absolutely.
It's their turn. It's their turn. So parents, be supportive. I'll say this, parents, you can help your kid by taking him to all the combines, all the clinics, all the camps. That's where the scholarship is. Okay? Take him. Put your money on that. Put them Jordans to the side that you buying to look like your kid. And spend that money and send them to the camp. Get your kid out there, get them noticed. In reference to baseball, I would say you want to be in perfect game. Cam Collier's in perfect game.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Doing
the number 1 draft pick from the Chicago Cubs was in perfect game. Perfect game is a system of rating and ranking players on the national level. That's how you get your kid the scholarship. It's not like the old days where Wayne talked about he mailed a letter out and they mailed him back a scholarship. I was listening to that. I'm like, damn, all I had to do was send a letter out?
That was the old days. They wasn't doing that shit when we was playing ball
days.
Yeah.
But I just challenge parents, and I wrote a book on it called Get Recruited the Easy Way, lulu.com. The book is a little dated.
Say that,
but
Lou. Say that again, Dre, so the people out there can see. Repeat it slow.
Get Recruited the Easy Way. It's online. You can download it right to your computer at home. It's an ebook on Lulu, LULU.com. I give all the secrets on how to get recruited. And both my sons got recruited and got technically a full ride. As Lou said, it's divided. As Kenny said, the scholarship is divided up. But I've never seen a bill from my son's college, either one of them. Both of them have master's degrees.
Outstanding. Congratulations on that also.
Awesome. Yeah, this has been a real good
you
one.
You can do this.
Yeah.
You can do this, parents. I just want to say that. And let me go a little farther. If there's any parent out there that wants to call me or write me, my phone number, 708-446-7202. Been the same phone number for 20 years. I'll talk with you personally. If you want to come to my
That's
Facebook
good
page,
stuff.
hit me on Messenger. My Facebook is Andre Morgan. My email, morganandre@live.com. I'm 65 years old. I don't want to take this information to the grave.
It's good business, man. There's some big brother stuff you doing there. That's why I love you, man. That's why I love you,
Now
man.
you my
And
boy,
you are
and that's why
you
every time I'm in Chicago, I come through the shop. And that's another thing.
absolutely.
Go get y'all hair cut at the shop. Forget what LeBron talking about. We got our own shop right there in the south suburbs.
Absolutely.
You,
Absolutely.
you dig?
And you are definitely, hey, you are definitely a Chicagoland baseball legend, full circle. And we appreciate you coming on the show and sharing this information that you have available. And once again, like I said, we appreciate you, man. It's been a good one. What you say, Bill?
Yeah, thank you so much, Dre. CVS Hall of
Thank you.
Famer, Illinois High School Wrestling Lifetime Achievement Award winner. Thank you so much,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yep. I know we didn't get a chance to touch on the wrestling, but we keep our kids active. That's how that works. Thank you for having me.
that's good.
All right.
Absolutely. Hey, people, it's been a good show. We got the legendary Andre Morgan. Once again, thank you. And we appreciate you guys for watching. It's been a good one, okay? We're going to close it on out. You know
Okay.
the business. If you woke, you winning. Y'all have